Almond paste. Almond paste. I'm excited today because we're making almond cloud cookies full of almond flavor. They're light, they're fluffy, sure to put a smile on your face. Welcome to Sweet Spot. I've gotten requests from viewers to provide some simpler recipes. Recipes with not so many steps and not so many ingredients. Easy enough, and I happen to know that the almond horn video is one of the most popular on Sweet Spot. Why is that? I think it's because of the almond paste. Or the cute little animation. So that leaves us with almond cloud cookies. Simple to make, full of almond paste and very little else. And let's get started. Making almond cloud cookies really is pretty simple. We need a cutting board. We need a sharp knife. And of course we need the almond paste. We want to slice this into about 1/4 inch slices. It'll be easier to break up in the mixer. The almond paste should be fairly soft. That indicates its freshness. And we use a stand mixer for this recipe. We blend the almond paste with the sugar and a little bit of salt. The sugar slices the almond paste, so we end up with a crumbly mixture. I don't know if that's really true, but that's what we do end up with. We put in the almond paste. And the sugar. And a little bit of salt. It cuts the sweetness. Using a paddle, we start on a fairly low speed. As the almond paste breaks up, we gradually increase the speed. We want to end up with a nice crumb. This will take a few minutes. We're done mixing when the almond paste and sugar are fully combined and crumbly. Perfect. And we want to separate 2 eggs. And pull out the yolk. The white in one bowl, the yolk in the other. And do the second egg. The whites go in the mix and blend thoroughly. And then the almond extract. The recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon, but I bounce it up to almost a half. And finish mixing. The batter's together, we need a baking sheet. Maybe a bigger one. There we go. And if you're a Sweet Spot fan, you know I'll use parchment. The parchment not only makes cleanup easier, it gives the cookies an easy release. You can make these cookies any size you want, but I find a moderately sized tablespoon or so to be just swell. They do swell a bit when you bake them, so make sure you leave adequate room between. No need to make them perfectly round. We dust the cookies pretty heavily with confectioner's or 10x sugar. Which serves two purposes. One is it adds a little bit of sweetness, nothing wrong with that. And two is when we press our fingertips in, 3 or 4 presses to spread the cookies and to give it that cloud-like texture, almond clouds. Beautiful. And then into the oven, 325 oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. If the cookies aren't browning evenly in the last few minutes, spin the tray. Absolutely beautiful. Let them cool completely before you try to remove from the parchment. I've let the cookies cool completely and I've carefully removed them from the parchment paper. I'm using a dark plate, so for a little contrast, I'm going to sprinkle a little additional powdered sugar, just a dusting, around the edge of the plate. The cookies are gorgeous. I've slightly underbaked the cookies intentionally, just a hint of brown on the surface, hopefully leaving the centers nice and moist. And now my favorite part, the taste test. Looking forward to this actually all day. A little bit of a bite. This is loaded with almond flavor. The center is super moist, like eating almond paste, delivered in a cookie form. Super fluffy, a little bit of a crunch where it's browned on the edges. Wow, this packs a lot of almond flavor in here. If you enjoyed the almond horn video, make these. These are wonderful. And this is a super simple recipe, probably the easiest sweet spot recipe we've made to date. You'll find a link to the full recipe in the YouTube notes below. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. I'd love to see some comments, suggestions for future videos. And if you're not a subscriber, now's the time. Click the link below. Until next time, this is it for Sweet Spot.